B site. Took a while to get there. Nongshim poking just somewhat, but then to hover around the edge of this dark cover. A bit of a trade going through.
Cheeky. Not gonna lie, but the trades do favor Talon at the moment. Looking for some more, and that'll bring a bit of stability, won't it, Quack?
Kind of a collateral as well. Does bring things down to a 1-on-2 where Primi is low, but does still have kind of the double tap shield going off. Jit Boys, though, with the crunch, trying to push his way up mid.
There was timing, though. If Ivy did choose to take the duel against Primi, break the shield, get the shot, it would be a 1 versus 1. But he hasn't seen where Jit Boys was playing whatsoever yet. So it really just does come down to a little bit of luck for Ivy. And what corners he kind of just wants to disregard here.
Needs to bunch up together. Ivy going in from peaks. Oh, what? At the same time, though, the rest was Nongshim pushing in towards this B site, but it's just a bit of a ruse. We're going B in towards C. Pi now has to hold, but he's not quite able to do that. Primi just stuck and trapped inside this little cubby position while Jit Boys tries to creep up around from the back. Primi able to gun down the first, and he's happy to take some duels, but Nongshim knows better than that to give him the 1v1s. They are looking for that 2v1. Now Jit Boys has to create a little bit more space, not quite able to do that. Fast lane as well. Cruz instantly recognizes this and tries to play into a more defensive position. But here comes that kill contract as well. Primi trying to create a little bit more of an advantage for his team, but falls to Danby.
Yep, and remember, Margaret is on the lurk up the guts of mid right now.
Still lurking. Meanwhile, the remaining Talon players trying to regroup. Thought about maybe using the position around Garage, but you, of course, still have Killua on this off.
Yeah, but Margaret is keeping Killua in check.
Yeah, that's why Killua's kind of backing off as well. Feeling like the call to a save, so Talon trying to head back into a safer position, but not expecting Ivy to be around grass. Good little trade from Thai. Now, where has Margaret slipped to? Wondering about it. You hear some footsteps as well, but knowing to stay disciplined so as to not peek.
Oh,
spots the third as well. Well, the quad as Francis falls.
But you do already have a bit of a cross from Persia rather, and that'll be first casualty.
Yeah, first elimination does gate crash away into safety as well. And then you've got the duo of Primi and Cruz to both block down Sewer.
Difference this time for Nongshim. That's 2 individual peaks with no trade potentials to come on out. So if that's an opportunity for Talon to capitalize, you would hope to see that, well, Nongshim reel that in, and maybe Talon can play a little bit more on that if they're gifted it.
Flash and jump peek. Meanwhile, you've got Margaret still on the lurk mission. Trying to look if someone would,
And if you can get into C, it's good, but you're already seeing Talon adjust to play a retake over there if they do need to. And I like the idea, right? It's 5 versus 3. You've got a dimensional drift if you do need.
At the same time, yeah, he's holding these positions, hoping to see if someone would push into his crosshairs so that he can find that punish, find that numbers advantage again. But Talon are playing it safe. And this is, once again, what you're seeing off of the coach timeouts, which is a very lovely sight. Talon now regrouping all in full round spawn.
So the 5 versus 3, do you send in Killua with the dimensional drift? You do. Cruz has been gifted at the operator in this one. So
Margaret, though.
Yeah, let's see if he can get up lurk or if Talon can get this retake.
Looked around at the wrong time. It's going to be Jit Boys who takes him down first. And here comes the Yoru utility. Francis, though, able to withstand it somewhat until Primi comes in with a triple of his own.
Powerful operator line.
Able to gate crash away as well. Finds the first pick, and with the slide anticipated coming through. Additional support from Jit Boys, who places down a cyber cage to continue playing around this spot. Meanwhile, Killua has already gotten away with daylight robbery.
That drone removes the trap wire that was in Garage, but it's kind of all for naught now because there's no space that Nongshim have been able to get.
And you have 2 Talon players watching around C as well as A Link. Try as they might, Nongshim, they have been shut off a lot of these entryways.
Yeah, and it's another 5 versus 3 situation, right?
Trying to at least gets the smokes out, maybe to reposition and find a pick. But as Margaret continues to lurk, he gets spotted out by Cruz.
And immediately going to be droning out for some further information as well. So Talon are playing towards the time. In a situation like this, they don't necessarily need to take any risks and go deeper, though as I say that, Cruz starts to do so, finds the right kill. Does have Primi behind him, don't forget.
And that's extra confidence as well for the captain of Talon. Unfortunately falls by Persia's hands. But thankfully you have teammates enough around the site as well. So 15 seconds left now for Nongshim. continuing to push past. You got Primi inside of the smoke. He hears the tap, looking for his opportunity. Springs the trade found by Francis. Of course, the round already picked up by Talon, but can they get more kills? Thigh will deliver. Smoke dissipates and Shit Boys will get away.
Oh, here we go.
With the kill contract. Primi missed his mark the first time. Will he deliver this time?
Oh, sharp shot.
Instant flick.
Good lurk there.
Still though, Margaret instantly deletes Cruz. No more Hunter's Fury available.
But there is an Armageddon and salvos for Francis. You have to remove these.
So needing to push further up in towards C long. Primi thinks to send out the Convergent Shield just to provide his teammates with additional cover. Ult's baited out, tapped onto the spike. Looking to re-tap, and that's when Francis spams away with the Guardian. Killua comes for the trades, more trades going through, but Margaret collects on all of these heads, and Nongshim more than one player.
Ooh.
And Cruz will send in the Hunter's Fury to check, does get away with one kill. Killua with an op shot as well. The spike has been dropped around Sewer, where Persia does find a bit of a trade. Killua trades right back.
Yep.
Just Francis left. He might have the spike, but he's up against 4. Met with the Paranoia and Shock Darts, both of them.
And a drone.
Drone spotted out, tries to go in for a cheeky peek down in towards Link, but also have Primi with another kill contract. Needs to find the right spot for it though. Currently just Jit Boys to find some information with a peek out of heaven. And here comes that kill contract.
Oh, lost it.
With the burst as well. It's Persia who takes him down instead, and here comes Dambi with the overdrive. Continuing to laser his way through, preventing Talon from jumping down. Cruz can't find any space. The rest of the team trying to break their way through a Link, but simple peeks out from Dambi. Cruz now continuing to jiggle, but the burst again from Margaret. And with that, Nongshim looking to pull off an A-split push in towards the site. Talon reading a lot of the utility, have rotated on over, but can they hold is the question. Cruz currently able to spray them down. Now coming in with Jit Boys and Killua.
Stop the spike from going down, and that's what it does. 15 seconds, it'll be okay for Cruz to get the plant, and we'll go into a 5. Whoa, hang on a second, maybe not. They could flood now. They're all here.
Thinking about where Cruz might have repositioned to. Now drops in towards Hell. Additional support coming out from Dambi though. Francis able to fire back. 12 for close range. At least the fake out going right past Dambi, trying to get a good read for it. The flash does come out though, and Dambi not quite able to receive as well. Killua in for the second kill. Cruz coming out of its own as well, but then the sprays.
Persia is on the site, a smoke to refresh in a couple of seconds, but he kind of is isolated. Now that Margaret's here though, they can fight.
Trying to refill that space where the drone kind of left off, but still the trade protocols coming back through into it. Nongshim happy to receive. Ace, do your due diligence in working across the map. Where could some of the possible lurks be? Now they've spotted out Cruz. Simple trade being found. 4 on 4. Killua though.
Yeah, you almost need to feel like you have to use the Armageddon here to help your team get into the site.
You've got a lot of space if you were Talon. Make sure to hold on to that space and try to prevent Nongshim from pushing through. Armageddon being sent in by Francis just to cause some havoc on the site. Dambi sliding in with the overdrive, and he's gonna be able to delete every player. A triple found in the round. Being sent out as well. Currently not seeing too much though, but Persia will continue to peek around the A site, spots out one, and here comes Primi with another kill contract, needing to hit the spot.
Okay.
Will be able to find his ground. Retaps onto the shield.
Ivy Hunter's Fury though.
Trying to set himself up for it. Team in position, 4 on 4 for Talon. Trying to get themselves away from the spike, possibly play post plant around C long, and that's when the Hunter's Fury comes out. So trying to call that the site is somewhat clear. Does find Killua as well. So more trades found now. C long being smoked off. Primi and Jit Boys needing to find the correct spams, but Nongshim's got spams of their own. It's just Primi running out of bullets. Does find a tap, but Dambi finds the map. Final score, 13-5, being used effectively. Meanwhile, Jit Boys continuing to lurk and find some taps through. Does take down Ivy's shield, but Ivy continuing to hold the angle, finds a double.
Oh, vulnerable going in as well. Remember the little update, but
and the relay bolts.
Yeah, but it's a 2 versus 2. So this is where I would expect things to settle down just a bit.
Just reset. Talon trying to find more opportunities and space somewhere else. Still needing to be careful though in case Nongshim might have pushed up. But still holding around Baby Door.
If they do decide to go to the C site, Margaret does have a trap wire, so they'd have to pivot all the way around towards the pillar side if the camera doesn't spot anything out.
If you go into B, though, then you got to watch out for a link where Margaret is still lying in wait, finds the first tap, instant dink as well. That is a lot of damage.
And now you play the 2 versus 1.
30 seconds left.
So in with the spike plant, you've got some utility. You could hang back, but need to play and time this carefully. Pinged as well, so a little bit more as he fans himself out, but not quite able to find the... Yeah, a lot of information at the very least, trying to get himself out of danger, but still Primi quick on the draw. The rest of Nongshim, though, already up towards heaven. Primi, especially as the Waylay. Oh, he's dancing with danger right now. Able to get the third kill as well. What was that tap? Margaret and Persia left. Will smoke off tree to try to re-aggress. They've already picked up and upgraded some weapons, but this is where Talon get to erase all the mistakes from the previous map. You've got the composition for this post-plant.
I mean, you've got Salvos and Aftershock. Should be unwinnable for Nongshim.
One enemy
Off the smoke, Thigh comes in for the peaks, and he will find the double to collect. Margaret only here to receive. He does have Francis nearby, though, and that's where they find a single frag. Takes down Cruz. If you're Talon now, feeling the pressure, how do you regroup? How do you recollect? They're still trying to break their way into this site, but it feels a little bit disjointed. Down to Thigh, trying to collect on some couple of frags, but they are down to so low HP. Jit Boys out towards Mound, and yet big reveal. 2 on 2, though.
They should know that it's Mound and backside, too.
Still within lethal range. Talon could find a chance to strike, but Francis in for the sprays. Close range hit by Paranoia.
Frax on out. Well, we can't really see the same Thigh.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately will fall.
Yeah, he's left him. He's left his boy there, and now they've got no smokes.
You trade a player for some utility out from the other side. Is that worth it, though?
No. Right now,
Certainly
it's
not the intended play.
Because no one else from Talon got out to be able to help, right? It's the stalling of the utility. If you want to reclaim the space, I mean, the ultimate is certainly going to help you, but not if Persia just dodges everything here.
Oh my god, and that's where he sprays at the right time! Bit of a spray transfer as now Dambi chimes in for the double to finish things off!
Try and push Nongshim back.
Trying to at least possibly get the spike down. The refract will help out the rest of the team, though, and it allows for Cruz to find a couple of taps. Still, though, within close range, Cruz continuing forward, goes in for the right clicks, pulls out the stun, and that's Primi now finding some kills, picks up onto the Vandal, and you've got the spike. It's a 1-on-2.
Full classics to get the job done, maybe here for Talon. They hear the rotating door. Persia does have smoke and dark cover. The ladder used already.
With the Shrouded Step, and now back into stairs. Surely Talon expects this, but they will hold out from spawn with a high-low. Yeah, smoke, though.
That allows Jit Boys to reposition. Really quick call from them, but is it all bait for Persia?
Information is key. He's trying not to reveal too much. Repositions with the Shrouded Step, though. That's completely...
not incentivized to expect it to be the full play.
Yeah, still now, time ticking. Persia will be able to eliminate Thigh as he tries to launch an assault. We're back in towards the C site where Margaret is lying in wait. You still have those kill trips. Oh, dodged fully by Primi. And that allows her Jit Boys now to relay back into the site. Rolling Thunder and everything else dumped in. Jit Boys, Primi finding frags for themselves, and just Dambi off to the other end, not quite able to assault himself back in. Still, though, we'll certainly give it a go, but Jit Boys shuts it down to extend their reach. But now being hit by ISO utility undercut being sent through. Primi, though, still able to land a nutty shot. But that's the kill contract now coming through. Primi off to the other end, still able to find another frag. Killua deletes IV as well in play. So positioned up towards C, he's trying to find Margaret. Meanwhile, the peek out from Nongshim outside of B, though, instantly punished. And then the mid-round to crunch down Francis's position. That's Francis gone, saturated into the C site. Margaret peeking out, unfortunately to his own death. Persia firing frantically to try to survive. But with that, an open sight onto C. Plan around this, right? Let's avoid the duelist, head in towards an opposite site. But Persia will be able to strike all of a sudden as well.
Oh, he's hungry.
To look for the trade. The duelist now continuing to push out. Hungry, thirsty, but that's where they get punished by Talon.
Yep, and
Talon,
they're just going to pivot towards this C site together as a team to play strength in numbers.
Absolutely. You got a little bit of a potential pinch from Francis, though, but he's only got the Guardian. Rolling Thunder now sent out by Cruz. Well, not Cruz, but still, get the spike down into A. How will they play it, though?
Look at Francis and
Spike
Cruz.
planted.
As well as Danby
just the
continue to
dink.
push further up front. Cruz, though, on a bit of a tear in this pistol. Danby feeling the pressure, needing to push on out. Will be able to find a double.
Is it enough for his team, though, to be able to close this quack?
2 on 3. Cruz is relatively low, and Ivy is, well,
In no man's land.
somewhat sussed out. Have an idea of where he is, and he does have that double tap as well. Meanwhile, Persia just staying hidden, but
Standing.
with the wrong timing for it, Jit Boys will be able to strike him in the back. Cruz then to clean things up. You got Danby on the Bucky, and he's just non-stop assaulting himself forward. Takes down Jit Boys, and that's already a bit of a frag. Spike down as well.
Only Danby would do that, and now they re-clear towards the halls as well, and they pilfer a gun.
Outlaw whiffed, and Danby seizes the opportunity to slide further in. Triple found, Thigh to shut him down. But reeling from the losses, trades found by Francis now.
And they know Cruz is here because he just opened the rotating door. The camera.
All back in towards that Rebel contest. Oh, and it's just Talon not slowing down. Pushing on through it, the shield's been cracked. Killa in for the kills, and now
Spike down.
somewhat of a loss for Nongshim.
Yeah.
3 players are gone off the wayside.
Primi.
Cruz as well jiggling, might have spotted out by the minimap.
Oh, Margaret, though. He's going to run into the potential trap wire as well, destroy that one. And he needs to buy enough time for Persia to get over here. They should know the killer was low by the spray that they saw earlier on. But in a 2 versus 3 here, Quack, when you got to consider that there's fault line flashes, salvos that eventually come online.
Spike planted.
Just now, in fact.
Trying to create some fake presence around the door as well. Salvos, fault line, you have a lot
Bait
at your
reposition.
disposal. Yes. Baited with the from the shadows on Persia. So still trying to keep himself positioned around. Cage out from Jit Boys, and they're looking to push out of it. There it is. Margaret, though, off to the other end.
Good saturate.
An attempt at from the shadows from Thigh as well, so a little bit burnt.
All the stun.
Especially in with the utility. Danby trying to go further in, but Jit Boys will shut that down. Now here comes further utility. Rolling Thunder sent out, and Talon looks to swarm the site. Killua especially finding a lot of these sight lines. Now just down to Francis. We'll find one with that last bullet from the magazine, but Cruz. The opponents, we can take Primi away possibly. Still though, that's gonna be the waylay alt somewhere, and at the same time, Thigh now trying to hold them off.
Yeah, they need to get in towards the site, though, because it was a 4 versus 4, and they've got the site control, but they're looking a little bit deeper for it.
That's time bought away. Numbers dwindling as well for Nongshim, so kill contract might be working against them right now if they use it in a bad spot, but still with the spike down, trying to reposition up around tree. Primi taking that duel out towards baby door. Nongshim beginning to run out of options. Ivy trying to jiggle, especially with the double tap shield. He's blinded as well. Sends out the undercut, just a delay. And unfortunately not quite able to hold down Tree any further. It's just Francis who has to turn towards the back, and Primi and Cruz leading with the kill feed, but still, here comes Danby once more. Team not quite there to follow up though.
Oh, but we're going to get the kill contracts. Will he win it this time?
The one that he did take away is Thigh though, so now able to find that one right back into it. Just kill on the site. Primi up towards the top of heaven. Spots him with a crosshair placement though. Saturate lands square at Ivy's feet. That's the triple found in the round. And just Margaret left. He might have snuck up in towards the B site, but the spike's down on the ground.
Yep. Very difficult situation for him to try and win a 1 versus 3 from, especially now that that door's closed.
Oh.
Here he's to re-navigate around the site, and eventually, you know, as Talon, you make a decision here. You look towards the choke of the A lobby,
and that's just a clear thing to do.
or if he gets in towards the site and he picks up the spike, well, we're just playing it as 1 versus 3. You know, we should be winning those 100% of the time.
You got the fault line, you got the saturate still. Is that the refract? No, that's a refract.
You're also not playing positions as Talon right now, where Margaret can really find a 1 versus 1. They're all collected together. It's really nice, like crossfire triangulation.
Thinking about Mound. But Danby hiding inside of the smoke, that's something that they might not quite anticipate. And Danby will spring. Out for 1 against Primi. Now to hold the angle passively against Thigh. Will be able to collect onto a second. Killer for the trade. And you also have Margaret for the flank. Off of timing as well. Does Talon read this?
remaining.
Not quite. Francis able to hold. Killa able to flick as well, but the round nonetheless will head on over to Nongshim.
Utility raining rounds.
Look at that from Primi. Does find Dami in towards the back. Killa with additional support. Thigh. Everyone all collapsing into this one position where now the armor gonna get set through. Margaret, if you are him, you're just wondering, what just happened? My teammates are all gone. I'm getting hit, I'm getting Valoranted, and Killa finds the final frag to bring that scoreline down to a 13-8. He's able to kind of prevent the rest of the team from catching up to Dambi, which then Primi might be able to find a way to strike back. So, especially in with that saturate now, able to collect a lot more space, and then for the rest of the team to swarm down on towards that. Still though, being able to hold this slight crossfire. Then comes the trades. Persia able to find numbers for Nongshim. Cruz though, fending off from drop as well. Incendiary to stall and in with the special delivery as well.
20 seconds though to essentially get in and get that spike plant down. Incendiary's not going to keep them at bay for that full time, but the damage has been done, hasn't it? A 3 versus 3 when the spike starts to go down. You're going to see a group up in towards lobby at the moment where it is just going to be Ivy.
That's where there are some guns scattered across the floor though, so you can see why Talon wants to take this spot, but got to make use of that weaponry. Cruz able to take that burst down against Ivy. 2 on 3 left, and there are more guns found now, especially for Jit Boys, but Thigh will get taken out. So needing to mount this entire retake out from main, it's a little bit tricky. The angle is instantly felt and dealt with. Persia now trying to hold the angle, but he is kind of pinchered into this one little spot where Cruz finds a burst. Split.
And you're going again into the Cypher setup. This is what I was talking about a little bit earlier, though. If you're going to get trapped up by the ults, you're just absolutely conditioned and dead.
Crunched through. The Armageddon actually placed in a way that it flushes Nongshim into the site.
And it's just run and have it available still with the saturator by the time. Rolling Thunder in is going to lock him in an aftershock as well. And they're in the salvos too, man. They're just destroyed.
Completely consecrated in with the salvos, like you mentioned. Now Dambi, though, trying to fire back against Talon. Does have a bit more space, but is it safe? That's the question. You still got Cruz somewhere nearby. You've got Primi as well, who can do quite a bit. Thigh in with the Incendiary is not quite sent out either, so all of them just hovering nearby. You've got a minute to work with.
And the thing is, how do you get a plant here as Francis to get the Rolling Thunder to potentially get Dambi into the fight to win?
Can you get that spike down? So they pick up the Alt Orb.
Yeah, that can be used to buy some time when you want to go for the plant, but you have to set up Dambi here.
Trying to at least, but you can already see Talon backing away from that range. In with the salvos as well, but Dambi looks to get ahead. He's by himself, despite the stuns. Cruz able to collect. Just Francis now. Oh, he got off the spike plant. 1 on 3, all of them right in front of you, and it's just Thigh with the op shot through into his head.
Towards more of where your traps are. It's either 3 players contained around lobby, or you're going into a B site where you've got Jit Boys with his traps available, and you've got Primi who's pretty close with the ultimate to bail them out.
Nongshim were trying to deal with some of these traps, especially with the salvos out from Ivy, but to no avail. The salvos just alerted to Jit Boys as to where Nongshim might be heading in from, and now the only option left, back into its A main, where Thigh is able to hold. Dambi, though, almost for the burst. Coming back in for the slide instead. Back into a 2-on-2. Primi off to the races into the site.
Gotta get the plant here because the flank rotate is eventually coming out for Primi, for Jit Boys. Here comes the ult.
Gotta watch for Margaret as well, though, but Primi at least quick to look for that deletion onto a player. But here comes Margaret. Takes down Jit Boys by drop.
I still planning for
knows
him.
Where he
can
is.
stick it.
Yeah, and that's where Primi is able to stick it all the way through. Margaret didn't quite hear it, so slowly creeping forward. Advantageous numbers for Nongshim, and there it is. 5 on 4.
Still got to clear a lot of these angles, though, and that's time that works to Nongshim's favor.
Jit Boys slowly clearing out from tunnel. The rest of the Talon squad moving upwards from tree, but instantly found by Dambi. Just Killua left. He knows where his opponents are, but he's alone. And without much utility, there's not much that he can do. Bring down the site, and you also do have Thigh right around the corner. Cruz as well, if he can find a pick or an Altorb, that's going to be Armageddon. Jitboy's now with the Judge, suddenly sounding off, and that's going to be Nongshim. Surprised as heck. Francis able to find at least just one, but here comes Cruz to top, and he's sticking the plant.
They've got a lot of posts for this
Could
position.
still refract back.
Aftershock, salvos, but they have to use them now early that Primy's gone.
Yeah, there's the Aftershock. Gets Margaret away off of the spike. Persia still trying to hold close with his off angle where Talon might not expect him. Oh, Killer jumps down, and now the defuse gets stuck all the way through. Dambi.
Know that Cruz has slipped through here, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a kill, it's all the space, it's an audible call. They can set themselves up for a post plant to their heart's content. They can plant wherever they want.
Fault line, incendiary salvos again. You just got to make sure that Nongshim does not stick the spike.
And a saturate too. That'll
Okay.
slow you up. I mean.
Well, if he is within range, Premier, at least for now, trying to hold out towards south side. Nongshim all towards the north. We do have Francis around Canteen, and he's trying to set something up with possibly the flashes in the fault line. He's got a full kit.
Yep. They
Gotta help out tower at least.
Gotta get a wriggle on.
There's the fault line. Cruz gets ahead of it, but still Margaret able to find the frag. Now Francis's position alerted, but here comes Primy in with a stun. Somewhat lands, not quite. They
Body block Incendiary.
dispersed. Incendiary lands just in the nick of time, and still Primy able to find the position. In terms of timing, Talon's kind of got the drop on this one, and thanks to that, Cruz finds a trap on towards Francis. Persia, though, alongside Dambi and Ivy trying to anchor down. 30 seconds, and Talon has to push up. Relay Bolt, and that slows them down. You're running out of time, Talon. Persia in for the spams. Orbital Strike ripped and ready to let go. But Dambi holds the slight sliver. Double found. Persia coming back in. Thine out to frag everything out, but you're not able to collect on the final one. Persia stands tall.
East side for Talon all the way to find all of the info and space. Dambi just caught unawares, off guard on an island. And now you've got all the information from this neural theft to potentially even just speed things up to B. And look at that, immediately being sent in there. And Jitboy's reposition is gorgeous.
Masterful play, and the stars align for Talon to set this up towards a series point. Margaret, though, will try his darndest to fend that off. Spike down as he holds the off angle against B tower. His own neural theft being sent out as well. Now beginning to peek out, trying to catch them unawares, but still, Dabby might have been flushed off, but he repositions around the drops.
Excuse me?
And that's going to be Jitboys cleaning things up just a bit. You got the salvos as well to possibly flush Francis out of position now, and that's going to be the fault lines kind of already eliminated. Now back into the site, Killua flushes himself out, spots out the next player. Margaret in for a trade. Down to Jitboys and Margaret. Cypher versus Cypher.
No cage.
Staking halfway, he must have heard it.
Oh, he got off.
Gets off at the right time, but Jitboys corrects his aim at the right moment, right guy in the right time.